Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I am your host, Matthew Horkey. We just got back from a crazy trip in Slovakia. And what crazy but good. And why do I say that? You know, we were invited to attend the Forment Forum in eastern Slovakia. And when word got out, some of the wine press invited us to tour through the entire country. The wine growing parts of the country, visit producers, and taste the wines. We were 12 days in Slovakia. We tasted over 250 wines, and it was a crazy schedule. When I mean crazy, we had to change every single night where we were staying, driving all over the place. Producers picking us up, dropping us off, almost like we're luggage or baggage or something. And since we were full-time travelers, we're carrying everything with us the entire time. So it was a little bit stressful. Usually we start at 7, 8, taste all day up until midnight, get a few hours of sleep, and then start the next day. But overall, I'm not complaining. We had a fantastic time. I want to thank Tibor Vitek from the website vinko.sk. It's a resource for Slovakian wineries. I think it's only in Slovak language, but I want to thank him for setting up the entire visit. So here are some of my impressions, especially about a category of wine that I think they are doing an exceptional job in Slovakia, and that is sweet wine. Now, it's really cool. Obviously, Slovakia, if you look on the map in terms of latitude, they're kind of on the northern reaches of where grape growing is possible. So, number one, they have a lot of white wine grapes because it's a little bit cooler area, although some reds were actually excellent, surprising. And they have, number one, they get noble rot, and number three, they can make ice wine, which is really cool. We saw some great noble rot wine, late harvest, ice wine, and even straw wine, which is basically grapes that were dried up on straw mats up higher in the attics of buildings and then made into sweet wine. Thought they were wonderful. We have some examples here. The cool thing about Slovakia, so number one, they have a lot of information on the labels. Unfortunately, if you don't read Slovak, it could be a problem, but they have everything. They have a lot of influence from the Germanic, Austrian influence, so you see a lot of information about vineyard site, village, acidity, sugar level. Really cool. They have adopted the Austrian predicate system. So we're basically where they have late harvest, selected late harvest, selected dried berries, and dried berry selection. So basically they have the Cabernet, Spatlesi, Auslesi, Baranauslesi, Trocken Baranauslesi, ice wine categories. They just have different names for it. So let me show you some of the examples. The cool thing is that some of these wines are very inexpensive compared to Austrian, German, or even Canadian sweet wines of this quality. Let's get into some of the wines today. First, we have Château Belá. This is the 2012 ice wine made from Alibernet. Alibernet is a cross between Alicante Bouschet and Cabernet Sauvignon. It was invented in Ukraine to give wines color. This was an ice wine made out of Alibernet. One of the most interesting sweet wines I've ever had. You had the red fruit, but you also had some citrus notes to it. You had some earthy notes. This was just really interesting to me. I think I gave it 4.2, 4.3 out of 5 on Vivino. I thought it was interesting. Interesting thing about Château Belá, let me see if I pronounce it. Ian Müller, one of the famous producers in Germany, actually owns this estate. So obviously the state has some pedigree. This is in South Slovakia. Another producer we have here, one of the largest producers in Slovakia. This is Karpatská Pearl, or the Carpathian Pearl. This is the Dilemúre Aurelius 2013. This is straw wine. Basically, the grapes are dried. In Slovak, it's called Hrozienkový výběr. That's what I think. I think ice wine is called Ladové víno. So I'll try to put that in the description box. I thought this was fantastic. Aurelius is a cross, which they have lots of crosses in Slovakia to help deal with the cold weather. This was fantastic. We're writing a tasting article. Some of the sweet wines, you'll just have to read the tasting article to find that out. But I thought this wine was very interesting and good as well. Another wine we have, this is probably the most inexpensive ice wine I've seen in my life. This is from one of the biggest, if not the biggest producer in Slovakia. This is Château Topolčianky. This is a Ladové víno ice wine from Rizling Vlašsky, also known as Welsh Riesling, also known as Grasovina, also known as Ola's Riesling, also known as Lasky Riesling, also known as Grasshots. So anyways, this ice wine was only €11.50. I thought it was ridiculous. I still have some left, so we're going to retaste it right now, actually. Pretty cool thing. I have a ferment glass still, a Rito ferment glass from the ferment form. This has been in the fridge open for a day. I liked it when we tasted it for the first time. Let's give this a little bit of a sniff. Ice wine, really pure fruit flavors. To me, this smells like Welsh Riesling to a T. Grass, melon, minerals, a little bit of lemon. Really good. Incredibly sweet, but the acidity kind of washes it off. Let me see what the sugar level on this is. 198 grams per liter of sugar, 6.2 grams per liter of acidity. Cool thing. They have everything written down here. I think this is a very good ice wine, especially for the price. I'm going to go 4.0 out of 5, especially at €11.50. I don't think you can beat it. They made some other ice wines, I believe. I think they made one out of Alibernet and a couple other grapes as well. I'll have to go back and look at my notes. So, Slovakian sweet wine. It is something to check out. Guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel. I will see you at the next episode.